Wheels and walls, they work, and we don't need the wheels, we just need the walls, and it worked.
Another day, another bizarre speech from Donald Trump.
A wall. I was saying before, wheels and walls, they work.
Earlier in Iowa, Trump took on a story from years ago about Russian prostitutes peeing on him.
He was with 4 hookers. You think that was good that night to go up and tell my wife, it's not true, darling, I love you very much? It's not true. Actually, that one she didn't believe because she said he's a germaphobe. He's not into that, you know? He's not into golden showers, as they say they call that. He's not. I don't like that idea. No, I didn't. I thought that would be a big problem. I was going to have a rough night, but that one she was very good on. She said, no.
Great. So Melania didn't believe the golden shower story, but Trump having sex with Stormy Daniels while Melania was pregnant? Well, and by the way, many of us in the media have always suggested the Steele dossier story and allegations about a pee tape should be taken with a lot of skepticism. Still, Trump's obsession with that story and repeatedly denying he is into golden showers doesn't seem like a great way of convincing people he is not into golden showers. In any case, the bizarre remarks in Iowa continued, with Trump noting that the leader of Afghanistan's Taliban was nice to him.
And he said, may I ask you a question, Your Excellency? He called me Your Excellency. I wonder if he calls Biden Your Excellency. I don't think so.
Trump also praised the president of China, a dictator.
He's strong. I know him very well. President Xi of China. And he's standing there. You know, he's a fierce person. Now, the press doesn't like it when I say good things about, but, you know, what can I say? He runs 1.4 billion people with an iron hand, and they say, oh, he said good things about him. No, he happens to be a very smart person. If I say a certain leader is smart, that's controlling a big part of the world, the press gets upset that I say smart because that's a good thing. No. Very smart people. These are very smart people.
And while Trump was calling some of the world's most powerful dictators very smart, in the same speech, Trump described Iowa's Republican senators as losers who only won re-election because Trump helped them.
They get a lot. I got a lot of guys elected right here, including Grassley, who was having a problem, and including Joni Ernst, who had a big problem. Could you do, sir, a rally for me in Iowa? Absolutely. You think it's easy to come all the way from wherever the hell I am and do a rally in front? I got him elected. Remember that.
So if you're keeping track at home, in one Iowa speech, Donald Trump mocked the 2 Republican senators from the state, praised powerful dictators, bragged that a Taliban leader called him Your Excellency, and said he doesn't enjoy getting urinated on by hookers. Oh, and Trump made that last point while speaking about himself in the third person.
He's not into golden showers, as they say they call that. He's not. I don't like that idea.
So why is Donald Trump rambling and getting more unpredictable than usual? Well, people who have followed Donald Trump's life and career believe the legal pressure on Trump from a civil lawsuit and 4 criminal cases is getting to him and having an impact. These former friends of Trump say he is compensating for all the bad news by being even more extreme and out there, particularly in his public appearances. It's an interesting argument, and by the way, even some of the good news Donald Trump has been getting lately is filled with potential danger for him. You may have recently seen that a Colorado judge ruled that Trump can stay on the state ballot, even though the judge found Trump participated in an insurrection against the United States. Most of the headlines focused on the former, that Trump won a victory by staying on the ballot. But a growing number of legal experts say the factual finding from the judge, the latter, that Trump, quote, acted with specific intent to incite political violence, will come back to haunt Trump as the case goes up to the Court of Appeals.
Right. If I were to put the headline on Friday night as an appeals lawyer, it would be, this is the very worst decision Donald Trump could get from the trial court, because it's going to go on appeal to the Colorado Supreme Court, perhaps the U.S. Supreme Court, and there Trump is going to face extreme headwinds. And the reason for that is the factual there's 2 parts, as Andrew says. There's the factual finding that the judge said, which is Trump committed insurrection. And then there's a legal part that the 14th Amendment doesn't apply to the office of the presidency. And on appeals, Jen, the factual findings get massive deference by the appeals court. It's almost impossible to overturn a trial judge's factual finding. You can overturn the legal findings because that's basically a fresh look at the legal thing. And here this judge factually made devastating findings against Trump, and then looked at this legal technicality, which was, well, the 14th Amendment doesn't apply to the office of the president, which is so weak, even the judge themselves admitted that would be preposterous.
In other words, Trump is on the ballot for now, but once Trump goes up to the court, simply because of the factual findings from the Colorado judge, there's a very good chance Trump will be confronted with rulings that kick him off of the Colorado ballot and possibly other state ballots. And this is just the legal challenge confronting Donald Trump's political campaign. As we mentioned, Trump's freedom is on the line in criminal cases starting in March. So the pressure on Trump legally and politically is intensifying. Never mind the poll showing Trump winning the Republican presidential nomination and defeating Joe Biden in a general election. Now, back to Iowa. The I Don't Like Golden Showers speech was Trump's first major political event since his Veterans Day speech in New Hampshire when he echoed Adolf Hitler.
In honor of our great veterans on Veterans Day, we pledge to you that we will root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and the radical left thugs that live like vermin within the confines of our country.
Amid a rise in anti-Semitism across the United States, Donald Trump echoed the dangerous language of infamous fascist leaders.
The threat from outside forces is far less sinister, dangerous, and grave than the threat from within.
Compare all of that with the tone and themes from President Biden's Veterans Day speech.
Duty. That was the code my son lived by and the creed that millions of veterans have followed. From Belleau Woods to Baghdad, to Gettysburg, to Guadalcanal, from Korea to Kandahar, and beyond. Each one linked in a chain of honor that stretches back to our founding days. Each one bound by a sacred oath to support and defend. Not a place, not a person, not a president, but an idea, to defend an idea unlike any other in human history. That idea is the United States of America. We're the only nation in the world that's built on an idea. Every other nation is based on things like geography, ethnicity, religion. But we're the only nation built on the idea that we are all created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. We haven't always lived up to it, but because our veterans, because of you, we've never walked away from it.
Duty, honor, and dignity versus narcissism, alleged criminality, and an obsession with golden showers. America faces a clear choice in 2024, and given all the news that is coming, including the predictable reactions of one Donald Trump, the contrast is only going to intensify. By the way, former New Jersey Governor Christie, one of the GOP's top Trump critics, recently leveled a Newsmax anchor defending Donald Trump.
And I think we deserve better as the Republican Party and as the United States than a guy who's going to be convicted of felonies this April to be our nominee and to try to be our president.
By a bunch of liberal Democrats that are trying to take him down because they fear him.
No.
Guess what? If Chris Christie was 53%,
not by a bunch of liberal Democrats.
They probably have your butt in the courtroom too.
No, I'm not going to put up with you saying that. He's going to be convicted by Mark Meadows, a founder of the Freedom Caucus, and his chief of staff, who he called the next James Baker.
Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.